What is going on? It's Shriz and welcome back to another video. Or if it's your first time, hi. Anyway, you clicked on this video for a reason. These are the scenes in ReZero that brought me to tears. And I can already see the comments, oh, that scene made you cry? That brought you to tears? My eyes were so dry, I didn't even cry once. Didn't even come close, ha ha ha. Look me in the eye, you soulless son of a gun. I don't care. You're just not right. That's all there is to it. Either that or you watch so many different sad animes that like they don't even affect you anymore, and in that case, understandable, I feel bad. So let's hop into it, but let me preface by saying some of them, I can kind of see why you'd be like, really? That brought tears? You'll see, I'll explain. Okay, so starting off at number 1, we've got Subaru talking to the Witches of Sins at the Witches' Tea Party, okay? During the trials, and specifically when he was talking to Satella. This scene brought tears to my eyes simply because Subaru was explaining all the different things he had been through, and why it required him sacrificing himself over and over to keep others alive, even if only for one more day. While none of the witches liked it, and most of them were scolding him about this, Satella was also disappointed in him, but in a different way. She started explaining to him how all these futures that he's not in, that he should be in, are actually hurting people from those timelines, and that he should care more about himself. And she said several times, you need to love yourself. That she loves him, but he needs to love himself. And even though she's been keeping him alive, it's been hard for her to watch him keep dying. And how many futures there are without him, with people just crying and in despair. Simply the fact that he needed to value his life more. Regardless of his power and how just it may be, it's wrong for him to do this to himself with such ease, without asking for help, trying to do everything by himself. So yeah, that conversation, like I said, specifically Satella and Subaru talking, really brought tears to my eyes, you know? It gave us flashbacks and everything of all the things he'd been through. It was really great to me. Okay, so another one, and this is also in the trial, so I figured I'd put them right next to each other. It was when Subaru was going through the trial himself. And you know, he had to go back to his past and talk to his parents. And although part of it was funny, there was a part that actually, you know, it made me tear up a little. But it was when Subaru was talking to his mom shortly before he completed the trial. At this point, Subaru had already realized that he was missing people in his life. Like, oh shoot, I remember them now, because he didn't remember them at the time. Like Rim, Amelia, all the people in the other world he was trying to save. So he was walking to school with his mother, and he said that he didn't want her to walk with him all the way. And since it's basically like the real person, he had to tell her straight up, like, look, I got somewhere to go, people I need to save, I'm gonna be really far away, and I won't be able to get a hold of y'all. But he would never forget them. That he loves his mom and he'll never forget her. And you could tell in this scene Subaru was really going through it, like, dang man, I haven't thought about them in a while, and he wished he would have done better for them, gone to school more, and was more grateful. But that's when his mother said to him it's okay and that she understands. And this brought Subaru to tears himself. And even though I was already like kind of like dang whenever he was saying this to her, as soon as he went to tears, I immediately did too. Something about fictional characters with tears in their eyes makes me tear up a little bit, I guess, sometimes. Yeah, it was a really good, you know, sad scene. So yeah, that's another one. And by the way, I did save some of the ones that make me tear up the most for later. But yeah, you'll probably agree on those if you don't agree on these. Anyways, next up we got when Subaru was finally able to tell someone about return by death. This is one of the few things that he quite literally couldn't get off of his chest to anyone, not a single person. No matter how many times he wanted to say, I can return by death, and explain to him what's going on and why he knows things that he does, the things that he's been through, he couldn't ever tell anybody. It's something that really nerfed his abilities a lot and got to him mentally. But finally, when he was in the Witches' Tea Party, yeah, whenever he was there, he was talking to Egdena, you know, sipping on some of them bodily fluids, you know what I'm saying? Hey, don't make fun of me. I'm trying to laugh so I don't start tearing up thinking about this stuff again, okay? But yeah, basically Egdena was telling him, you know, let it out. And then he straight up says it. He goes, I can return by death. And then he winces, you know, waiting for the hand to come and grab his heart again before he can say anything. And whenever he realized that he could say it, he just started bawling, because this is the first time he's been able to say this to anybody. The first time he's been able to talk about it. And although I'm fairly certain Egdena was just trying to manipulate him, Egdena was letting him know, like, she knows what he's been through and everything like that. And it's okay, he can say whatever he wants in that world. So yeah, that was a shorter one, but that did bring some tears to my eyes, because once again, the main character has tears in his eyes. You know I'm going to. It's just how it is, okay? I'm a crybaby, okay? Relax. And honestly, for something that accomplished so little, it really felt like a breakthrough moment, because I know it was for him, and you know, in the show it felt like one as well. And for the fourth scene, it would be Subaru showing up to the mansion after the massacre. Remember when he got there too late and the witch's cult already just messed up everybody? You know, when Subaru got there and everyone was dead laying on the ground somewhere, there wasn't a single person alive, the witch's cult attacked them, and it was just an all-out bad, like, look. It was horrible. And at first I was just sitting there in shock, like, oh wow. I knew they were powerful, but I didn't know they were like that powerful whenever I first saw it, of course. But then the man started exploring. He goes into the mansion and everything too. You already see people dead on the ground. He starts opening up doors and people are like just there dead too. I don't even think I can show this stuff on YouTube much, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna get me age restricted. Like, it's bad. One thing I don't look forward to about rewatching it in the future. That's for sure. But what really fucked me up is whenever we found out Petra was dead too. And I was already kind of down bad before that. But once that happened, it was, oh man. I remember just sitting there. I paused it. I had to go take a walk. I'm serious. An avid anime watcher had to go outside because of a scene. You know how bad that is? Don't worry. I came back and watched the rest of it. I didn't skip over it. But man, I had to go take a breath like... Shoosh. You know in this binge watch how you get like so invested in the story, you watch so many episodes, you feel like you're just there, a part of it or something. Yeah, that's how it was. And then that scene happened and I just couldn't take it. Nope. I know y'all feel me on that one. I know you do. Okay, now going from something so dark like that, we're gonna go to something that brought a tear to my eyes, but it wasn't dark at all. This was gonna be a little change of pace. You got me? The Kiss with Subaru and Amelia. Pause. I get it. All these ones have been so sad until now, and this one's gonna, why this bring tears to your eyes? What's your problem, Shriz? There is no problem. It was great. It felt like Subaru finally accomplished like the story or something. I know the story isn't close to finish, but it really felt like an arc of its own. This man just kept telling her, because I love you. Why do you do this for me? Because I love you. That doesn't make any sense, Subaru. And then Subaru was like, that's because I love you. Oh man. And then he was like, if you don't want this, dodge it. And then it happened, man, and the lights and everything. Man, I felt accomplished, like I did something. I'm not even in the show. It just made me feel like an accomplished man. I was so happy for Subaru. I stood up out my chair feeling like I just watched Goku solo somebody's universe. It was great. It was great. Stood up on my chair, you know, a little bit of tear in my eye. Just happy tears, okay? This is different, like I said. Fist pumping in the wind. There's no wind, by the way. The windows are closed. Amazing. And yes, I know that made you smile thinking about it too, just like it's making me smile right now. But here's the thing, we got to keep moving and keep that smile as long as you can, okay? So another scene that brought tears to my eyes, Amelia's backstory. You know, when she was little Amelia, just running around with lesser spirits and stuff, right? That makes you happy too. We're keeping the smile. But the scene at the seal, oh my gosh. You know, the part where Fortuna's trying to defend Amelia and stop her from doing the bad thing and opening up the seal, and she's fighting off Pandora even though like it's not really working. And then here comes Beetlejuice after using the box that gave him the unseen hands and an authority of sloth. You know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, damn. And even though I know it's not really Amelia's mother, Beetlejuice came in to try to defend both of them, but was tricked with Pandora's, I think it's called vanity power or something like that. Sorry if I got that wrong, but it's something with a V. And, you know, was tricked into thinking that Fortuna was Pandora, and Beetlejuice killed Fortuna right there in front of Amelia, man. Basically her mom. It was... That really did make me sad, man. And then that scene where like Amelia's looking at Juice like, what did you just do, with like a tear in her eye and stuff? Oh. And then the fact, like the whole just dynamic, the fact that those two were pretty much in love with each other, and then they, you know, they were just all together. You know what I'm trying to say. Sorry, words are hard for me on this one. Literally the only good thing about that scene was little Amelia going apeshit after that. That's literally it. I remember how much I was rooting for Amelia just to put Pandora in the dirt right there, because Pandora deserved it. Not right. Okay, so now we're in the last three scenes that really tugged on my heartstrings, okay? Subaru, whenever Rim was coming after him with the wrecking ball, that was so sad. Rim just starts slashing off his arms and limbs and stuff, and he's just sitting there on the ground crying, and he's like, why do you all hate me so much? What did I do to you? He doesn't understand why he has to go through this. He tries to do everything he can for them to make them happy, but then at the end of the day, they dislike him so much that they would kill him. And in this case, specifically Rim. But whenever he was just crying out all those things about like how he loves them so much, but they don't love him, I don't know, man. That pulled some heartstrings right there. Just hearing the pain in his voice, the tears going down his eyes. And the second to last one, and once again, this one's a little bit of a change up because the last one's just gonna hurt everybody involved, anybody who can remember this or ever watched it. So this second one's gonna be a little different. Whenever Subaru was trying to run away with Rim, and Subaru had basically given up, he was like, I just want to run away. Would you want to run away with me? And at that point, I was like, damn, Subaru's giving up, and I was kind of disappointed in him. But then Rim started telling him all the things that she loves about him, and the fact that he shouldn't give up, and the fact that she loves him is all these things, like the fact that he's powerless, but he keeps going. He may be weak, but he always tries. And there's so many things that she loved about him, and she just kept telling him. And she also told him about like how she would love the life of them living off in a village and having kids, working jobs, and how much that would really mean to her. But at the same time telling Subaru, this isn't what you really want. That one hit me. It really did. And she said it so plain and simply. She just put it out there up front, and also got Subaru back on track. And whenever he was back on track, I remember just sitting there, big old smile on my face, just, yeah, it's getting real now. Subaru's about to figure this out. And coming in at number one, this one might have got me the most, and I'm so serious. I know it got all of you too. It's when Rim was in the cave. Subaru and Rim were trying to fight off the witch cult whenever they were riding up to the mansion. And Subaru basically got kidnapped while Rim was trying to defend him with her whole life, going demon mode and everything. But then she went in the cave to save Subaru. Gosh, I don't even want to go into detail about it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She just got ragdolled. I was like, oh man. And then Subaru was sitting there like still half crazy because, you know, he lost his sanity at that point. And then after being ragdolled and everything and you thought she was dead, and Beetlejuice just dipped from the scene, she started crawling to the man while he was locked up, using her last amount of power just to cut off the chains. Gosh, that was an emotional one because she used everything she had in her. Even though she was basically already dead, she was still fighting for one last shot at keeping Subaru alive. And this even brought Subaru back from being insane, and that really cemented what he knew he had to do. Man, geez, bro, this one's kind of bringing tears back to my eyes again. It really is. But yeah, just the crawling and then like cutting off his chains, you know, that was some shit. Yeah, so I just made myself go through pain and, you know, all of memory lane on this entire show and what it had to offer, and now I'm uncertain of how I'm gonna edit this with my eyes open. So yeah, let me know what scenes made you feel some type of way. Put it down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video or agree on anything, make sure to drop a like. This is gonna be one of the few times I ask for subscriptions or whatever, because in this case I might just need it, but obviously you don't have to. It's Shriz, and these are the scenes in ReZero that brought tears to my eyes. Hope to catch you in another video.